were saying that men have it easier to get. Who was saying that? It's easier for men to get laid.
Yeah, I think I did say that.
Does anyone agree with that? Easier for men to get laid as compared to women?
I think that's I feel like if you say that, that's kind of saying that women are easy. Like that statement in itself is implying that women are easy. So
I mean, I know guys who have a roster who literally have put girls on rotation.
High value men?
I mean,
I don't really like to put value or high or low on somebody just based on like their sexual preferences and things like that. But I think that it's kind of an equal playing field. And also I think that
equal?
Well, yeah, I mean, men set this. So we're talking about like men and women. Okay, they're different if we're going to go there, right? So if you guys are saying that men are setting the standard of what women should adhere to, so women shouldn't be having casual partners because men don't want women with lots of bodies. So there are a lot of women that are like, well, I'm not going to have casual sex then. So then these men are not having casual sex and blaming it on the women, saying that, oh, well, women are gatekeeping sex. Well, why do you think they're gatekeeping sex? Because you're literally shaming them for having casual sex.
Devon Jackson donated $100.
Hey, Devon, what's up?
To future single mother bangs, you have a lot of your personality to work on.
Do you have a response to Mr. Devon Jackson?
Girl, I'm tired. I'm not going to respond to you.
Girl, Devon.
Yeah, please.
You really wanted to come in, I think, on the dating is easier for men, or it's easier for men to get laid, or...
I said the opposite. Yeah.
No. But you were arguing against that.
For sure, yeah. Totally.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Argue.
I mean, from every single level, it's way, way easier for women to get laid than men. An average-looking woman, a 5 out of 10, could walk into a club, pick up a guy. A 5 out of 10 guy would have to try really, really hard. And here's the thing: when something comes easy, it is oftentimes there's less respect assigned to it. But whereas for guys, if they need to really work on that, hard work is rewarded. So just based on that simple premise alone, a woman who sleeps with a lot of guys that came easy, therefore it's not respected. A man who slept with a lot of women, generally he needs to work on his character, he needs to work on his hygiene, his appearance, his status, his accolades, his career, everything, in order to be at the same level as that 5 or 6 out of 10 girl.
What do you consider hard work? Buying women drinks and talking to them?
No, raising their caliber as a man. So a high value man, meaning like working on his physicality, being fit and healthy, working on his hygiene, making a good sum of money, right?
High value men do not call themselves high value men.
Well, I didn't just say that wasn't the prerequisite of what I just said. I know.
I'm just saying.
But you're stating that men have to work on all these things in order to get laid, and that is completely false.
Well, often,
as she was saying,
I mean, unless they're a porn star with a huge dick, right?
I'm talking.
What was she saying? Go ahead.
So she was saying that she knows plenty of men that also have rosters. I know more men with
very
rosters
few
than
men.
I know way more men that have rosters than women that have rosters.
But okay,
I don't have a roster.
Okay, but the fact you could
I know 3 men
if you know 100 men that have rosters, 100 men out of the entire male population is a very, very small proportion of men. If you had to attribute a percentage to the amount of men who could easily just have a roster of women, what percentile would you give it? Would you say 10% of men can do that? 20% of men can do that? Would you say 50% of men can do that? Would you say 100% of men can do that?
I mean, obviously not 100. I think 100 is kind of ridiculous. But I mean, how many women do you know 50, that have rosters?
Would you say it's
they could?
That's the thing. It's capability.
Capabilities, sure, but I mean, I think that probably as long as a man is actually putting in any sort of effort at all, they could probably get a roster.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I genuinely believe that.
Girl, you're delusional. No. Men need to work so hard.
On what planet? On what planet? If you are decent looking, if you are halfway decent looking.
No.
Decent looking?
Not even decent looking. I've met some ugly dudes that have been pulling. I've met some ugly dudes that have been pulling.
Yeah, I mean, like it's all based on personality, right?
Yeah.
Like women still have to have a semi-decent personality 99% of the time.
Y'all the wild.
I would say that attraction does contribute to it though, and it could be true that men do have to work harder in some circumstances, especially if they're.
It could be. It is true.
It is. Yeah, that's what I meant.
It is true.
It is true that they have to work harder.
I don't know.
Okay, hold on. A couple questions here. Has a guy ever made you wait for sex?
Yeah, actually.
More, well, okay, all right. Here's
Yeah.
generally,
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna ask him
generally,
anyway.
generally speaking, who's making who wait for sex? Men.
I mean, I think it depends on the
sleepy.
situation.
That goes
It
back
depends.
to what I said earlier.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah, that goes back to what I said earlier about women hold what's like the stupid lock and
The
key
gatekeeper or
thing?
whatever.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I hate that
women were
analogy.
the gatekeeper of that's what like the yeah.
Okay. Also, how do you explain if it is the case that men have, just to clarify your position, you think it's about equal between men and women when it comes to the ease or simplicity with which they can secure sex? You say it's about equal?
Yeah,
Equal?
absolutely.
Okay, so how do you explain the incel phenomenon, which is exclusive in men?
I mean, there's femme cells.
Yeah,
It's
there's-
it is literally impossible for a woman to be involuntarily celibate.
I mean,
It is
Have
impossible.
you been on TikTok?
yeah, that's not
Involuntary what?
involuntarily celibate.
There,
so
there
like
are
an
women.
incel. And-
Okay, so
and
she could
incels-
argue. She
Incels
could.
don't go out and actually speak to women. I mean, like they
Sure they
literally
do.
hate
They
women.
think they think they're like they deserve sex. That's what
Yeah.
they think.
Not all
No.
incels.
yes,
Yes,
So
it
what's the
is.
true definition of an incel?
Okay,
Involuntarily
incel is
celibate.
short for involuntarily celibate. So despite desiring, wanting to have sex, you are incapable of having sex. Now there are women who are voluntarily celibate. For example, like
Also.
she's voluntarily celibate. If she was so and for religious reasons, if she was so inclined, she could get sex tonight.
Right.
I mean, but these men literally, if
What's
you're
that?
going
Not
and
true?
actually
No, I
speaking to
said
these
that.
men,
Oh, okay.
they have like no actual interest in going out and talking to a woman.
It's not necessarily true. A lot of people who are incels become bitter, I'd say, from their interactions with women because they did go out and they experienced something really shitty.
Yeah.
Okay, but I
No,
mean,
women
they're
are the villain.
Let me.
So
I- I'm
men
gonna
should
ask-
hold
Oh my
themselves
God.
accountable.
No,
then.
no, no, no.
Here,
I
here.
never said that women are the villain. I think you just love to misconstrue my words. I'm saying that women could be femcells too. You mentioned them too. I think that experiences with the opposite gender do affect the way that you perceive them, obviously, and like your interactions. I wouldn't say that incels and femcells are entirely socially inept or entirely like devoid of social interaction in general. I'd say that.
Okay, let me ask everyone a question here. All the women at the table here, a question. Let's say tomorrow you wake up. Let's assume some of you. Let's just say everyone's single here. If you were so inclined, do you think with 100% certainty, if your mission for that day was, I want to have sex, I want to get laid, do you think you'd be able to do it?
Yeah.
Yes.
With
Yes.
with 100% certainty.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. Only a woman can wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to get laid today with all certainty and have it come true.
Sometimes I say that and that doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
Okay, if as a woman, you download a dating app or you go out to a bar or you even just approach a guy with certainty, if you wanted it, you could get laid 100%. 100%. Whereas like most dudes, even though good looking dude, it's not a given he's going to get laid. If he like goes out to a bar or club or he's on a dating app.
I mean,
Why
dating
is
app.
that,
I think dating app. Like,
It's hard because
you
it's harder for men to
absolutely-
get laid.
I think you absolutely could. I mean, I see women that are looking for hookups on dating apps all the time.
Right,
So, I
but
mean-
with perhaps with a certain tier of men, and also I like another thing I would add, there has to be some degree of planning. Like any of you, even though it's Sunday, it's fucking late as fuck. Any of you could probably hop on Tinder right now, tonight, and fuck a dude tonight. I don't care how attractive the dude is. There's like no chick. It's gonna be extremely difficult for a dude to hop on Tinder on a Sunday at fucking midnight. I don't care how hot he is and fuck a chick that night. There's gonna have to be some planning. It's not
I mean,
gonna
there's
just
planning
go
on
down
both
like
ways,
that.
Though. I mean, like if I go on Tinder, I'm gonna have to plan that with the guy.
Yeah, but if you were open to same night, like if you were pushing for the same night, you could get it. Whereas it's not a you like guarantee you could probably get it. Whereas it's not a guarantee for men.
Yeah, can I say something? Real life experiences. I have two really close friends of mine who are guys, and they have the hardest time finding a woman, even just to have sex.
Boom.
One of them has been celibate
Beautiful.
for 4 years.
Huh?
And he's a decent dude. He's on the spectrum, but he's like a really decent guy, and he struggles. Even my other friend, he's 6'4", an attractive dude,
Oh, damn.
has an
Come to hit me
amazing
up.
job,
6'4".
and he hasn't gotten laid in a year.
That's how you know.
Wait, wait,
Okay.
Can you show me photos after the show, just so I can see? But you did mention he's not one of the guys is not neurotypical. That's another point I would add. If a guy is like not neurotypical, they're also like a woman who's not neurotypical, she's even not going to have an issue getting laid. Whereas a dude who's maybe a little, whatever, he's going to he's going to severely
I bagged a chag, bro. Sorry.
See, take it from the horse's mouth.
Dude, like literally, like I'm retarded as bro. Like
you're not.
No,
you're actually very smart.
No, I have autism.
Yeah,
no, I have
but
autism.
it's honestly hilarious. It makes you really funny.
Thank you. I'm retarded. But
wait, what about the bus? Tell us about the bus.
No, I'm not saying about
Tell
the
us
bus.
about the bus. Tell us about the bus.
No, I'm not talking about the bus. The fucking short bus, bro. The fucking short bus. They put me on that for like a hot minute, but then they realized I was like functioning. So like they said, nah, you can take the normal one.
No. Oh my god.
No, but seriously, like I've seen like I made friends with this autistic guy like over my Japan trip because it was study abroad, and like I saw the way people like interact like treated him, like they're like, oh my god, this guy's fucking weird, bro. Like, and other people are like, oh, that's so endearing, her autism, like, oh, she's so whatever, like, oh, poor little thing, but they're like, oh my god, bro, that fucking Jake, bro, he's fucking weird as shit, bro. Like hide your kids, bro. Like Jake is fucking weird. Like there's like it just, I don't know. Like I definitely see the way the autistic men are treated. I'm like, oh shit, that could have been me.
It's rough out there for look, men with any sort of physical disability or disfigurement or detectable neurodivergence are rarely treated with any measure of interest, but that's not so for most women. Mm-hmm. Like a woman in a wheelchair could oh my god, is that inappropriate? She could what's it called when you scoot in a wheelchair?
Pedal?
Could run circles around men. Is that did I just cancel? Am I canceled?
They call that a crippy with a grippy.
What the bro, don't say that shit. Don't say that shit. No, but could a woman in a wheelchair could wheel around a guy who's not in a wheelchair in terms of getting laid. Wheelchair chick get some new every night of the week.
Can she?
I'm just saying. Listen,
can she feel it though if she's paralyzed from the waist down?
She's got like. Let's just say she's like her.
Oh my god. Okay.
Canceled. Okay. Good times. Look. Okay, so you think it's easier for men?
I didn't say easier.
Okay, you think
I said
it's
equivalent.
Equal. It's equivalent.
When can I go home?
100% equivalent.
Right?
Yeah.
Brian?
I mean, like.
Hold on. We're almost done.
My rides are getting impatient.
Hold on.
Yeah, they're outside. They're waiting.
Hold on.
I want to play Sekiro.
I know.
I want to go home and play Sekiro. Have a nice pizza.
Wait. Okay.
I love Sekiro.
So what's up?
I would say fairly equivalent. Maybe after listening, I could, but I think part of the issue is that if it is a little bit more difficult for men to have sex with women is partially their own fault because of the standards that they perpetuate onto women.
What?
Yeah, because women are going to be less likely to want to have casual sex because they know they're going to be shamed for it later on. So, I mean, there are a lot of women that are their standards are so high because they're like, I have to add, everybody I have to add has to count.
You think that's the only standard that women has?
No, not at all. I didn't say that's the only standard that women have, but when we have these podcasts or there's these thousands of podcasts of men being like, oh, well, that body count's disgusting. Oh, that's disgusting. Mm-hmm. Women are going to be less inclined to open up and want to have casual sex unless the man that they're talking to is like top tier, like 100% their body's going to be worth adding to their account because they know they're going to get shamed for it later.
Wait, so
I think women would be more inclined to have casual sex if men weren't so critical of it.
So you're arguing on our side now. You're saying
no. I'm saying I still believe it. I said if
it's
slightly more difficult for them, I would say that would potentially be why.
Well, I mean, couldn't it be the case that in general women are more picky and more selective and have higher standards?
I mean, not necessarily.
I mean, there's again evolutionary and biological reasons for this.
I do feel like a lot of guys will sleep with anything.
I would agree with that.
Men will sleep down, but like you could say, for example, they've done studies on this, or they've released the data from dating apps. Women swipe no on like the vast majority of men, and women will frequently rank, say, women find like 80 to 90% of men as unattractive. Here, we could go around the table. What percentage of men do you find attractive?
So true. I do not find, it takes me forever to find an attractive guy, like literally every 2.5 years.
But you just said you like guys who are kind of frumpy or whatever.
Yeah, but like to find one where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like for me to really like someone.
You want to find a frumpy, hot, ugly guy?
I love ugly.
That makes sense.
Yes, ugly, hot dudes are a thing.
Oh.
Hot, ugly dudes are a thing.
Well, it's like the medium ugly standard that women talk about all the time. They're like, oh, I love medium ugly guys.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing that women are like, I love a medium ugly guy. I don't, physical looks have never been that big of a proponent to me personally.
Would you date a guy shorter than you?
I have dated men shorter than me, yeah.
Is that your preference? Is that ideal though?
No, it's definitely not my preference, but I like I said earlier, looks have never been a really high proponent to me. I find people a lot more attractive when I get to know them. Most people that I find like physically attractive off rip, I generally end up not liking. Like, people become more attractive to me as I get to know them and like get to know their good qualities.
Okay. All right. Well, we have Alvarez here. Alpha men don't call themselves alpha men, yet 50% of men call themselves alpha men.
Then I guess 50% of men aren't alpha men.
I don't know have they done a study on the frequency with which men call themselves alphas? I've never heard of that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to like this idea that it's equivalent. It just boggles my mind that I.
You know what will make you feel better? Food.
That is deep. I'm rather tired too. I wish I could argue about this all night with all of you.
We'll do a part 2.
Like, I feel like
We can definitely do.
Oh yeah, we should do a mukbang.
Microsoft came up.
We have the microphones for it. Yeah.
PlayStation.
Here, last little train of conversation here. Zip it good.